Hey there, welcome to the virtual table. We're going to cover a game called ARA History, Untold. And there are lots of videos going around on this one. I am also part of the new people trying it. My best way to describe this game using two other games is this is Civilization and Victoria 3 having a baby, with Civilization being the spanning across time and Victoria 3's resource management. And if you're not familiar with either of those games, first of all, stop living under a rock. But secondly, don't worry about it. You'll see it in 10 seconds here, or however long, a few minutes. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and dive in. It's first of all, think civilization, and so we're gonna choose our race and leaders. I'm very impressed with how many leaders are available in this game, and by consequence, how many civilizations are in this game. I am not very impressed with some of their choices. Whoever was choosing the leaders in this game decided to get really cute, and I don't know why. Like too cute in my mind. And I understand this is a challenge for developers these days because they're trying to have equal gender and all the colors of the rainbow, everything that's going on when so clearly if there was a male leader for a particular civilization, they go out of their way to try to dig up some female leader, and I get it, I get it. Um, I felt like this game went a little too far in that direction, and here's a perfect example of what I mean by that. This overweight woman is representing the Cherokee Nation, and they give you a little reason why they chose her. She was an activist and social worker. Okay, she brought healthcare and education. I just think that the Cherokee people, and I'm not a Cherokee person, I just think that they had much, 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 much more significant leaders in their history than this. I felt like they dug deep because they were trying to do something funny with it. I don't know. But fine. It's still a race you can play, and I do think it's awesome. You could play as the Cherokee Nation. Like that's the victory in this. Um, but there's some weird choices, and here's another one. I'm not just going to pick on the women. For Poland, there was a perfect opportunity for because civilization had a female leader in Poland, and it's I'm trying to Vadivig or I'm horrible with names. Um, I'm trying to remember her name, but she was perfect. She really did lead Poland. And so what did they do for Poland in this one? Copernicus, a mathematician and an astronomer. I don't think he ever led Poland in anything. He was a mathematician and an astronomer and nothing more. So really bizarre choices. And it's not just the woke ones. Like this is a woke choice right here. Absolutely woke choice. They but this one was not. And they actually had a chance to go woke with this one and they didn't. And so I'm not trying to call the app woke or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that they made some weird choices. And the even more weird part is there are scientists and astronomers in the game. So Copernicus would have been a perfectly viable one, because like your civilization gets them as part of your civilization. They rise up and you get to select, who your next I can't remember the term, but you get them in your game. And so I don't understand why Copernicus isn't one of them because scientists are absolutely in this game, tons and tons of them. But instead, they made him the leader of Poland. Um, Very, very bizarre choice. Some of them were great choices, like you know Isabella of Spain makes total sense. Zenobia, I thought that was a pretty interesting one, and just having the this empire in there is pretty interesting. Um, Catherine the Great, total sense, makes total sense. They had Julius Caesar, uh, Alexander the Great. So here Otto von Bismarck, and then I believe Charlemagne absolutely hit it out of the park with some of them. But then that one's the weird one I'm sorry. This one is bizarre. This one is very bizarre. There's another very bizarre one. Well, I thought this one was interesting. So, in terms of German leaders, they gave us two German leaders, and the other one is Hildegard. Um, Again, I think they're stretching because I think there were other choices for German leaders. And then for Greece, they did the same thing. They gave us Sappho. She was born in Lesbos. Da, da, da. I don't think she was all that important, to be quite honest with you. They stretched really, really hard. Joan of Arc, okay, that makes sense. Elizabeth makes sense. Nefertiti makes sense, right? And then look at this. The Crow Nation, they got a proper person. Why couldn't the Cherokee? That's the best the Cherokees have. Come on. And then, the Aztecs, they were represented properly. Anyways, I don't want to belabor it too much. I don't know about this one. I don't know my Australian history. Who Howard Florey is. Um, I mean, is that an appropriate choice for them? But here is the other bizarre one. I was trying to find it right here. Eva Perón. Come on. uh, and then I don't agree with this one either. Although Korea got two of them. Sejong makes sense. That one does not. So why did some nations get two leaders? I don't know. But they definitely gave us a lot to choose from. The Inca are represented. Kush. I don't know if Amanarainus is the right choice for Kush, but that's fine. This was another weird one. Benito Juarez. I guess so. I mean, I don't like this one doesn't bother me like that one does or that one. Um, for the United States, it was George Washington. I think between him or Lincoln, or it makes total sense. Uh, Simon Bolivar makes sense. Shaka of the Zulus, the Songhai, Ashoka makes sense. Like a lot of them do. The majority of them. And yes, they gave us multiple of some. And what is that? Oh, Thailand. Okay. Um, what else do we got in here? Who's this? Oh, Leopold. That makes sense. And that's an interesting one. Tokugawa Ieyasu is perfect. Alright, so who are we going to be? I can spend all day looking at this. As you can tell, every leader has a unique ability up here. And then I believe, yeah, they change everything, including the bonuses. So these are attributes. They're set in stone. So if somebody has the aggressive attribute, they're always going to have this text, right? But this stuff up here is unique to the leader. And then, of course, if you pick Sappho, you get the stuff unique to the leader, but they have completely different attributes. For my playstyle, obviously, I tried playing as Washington. My playstyle, though, fits with Copernicus, even though he's the strangest leader for Poland. I absolutely love the fact that he gives me research bonuses across the board. I get craft production bonuses. I get build production in my capital, which gives me an early game boost. Merchants, you're going to see later in the game. I love having extra merchants. And prosperity is something that actually is, in my perspective, a struggle early in the game to have. So getting extra prosperity just for free is awesome. So I'm going to pick him, and we're going to pick blue. Difficulty levels are through the roof. I am by no means ready for anything more than normal, given my current, and we're going to generate a new map. And so here's my first gripe with the game. There's no tooltips that explains what the heck each of these things do. They have all these descriptions, and I have like a guess what they think they do, but they just seem silly. Like, what is a world spine? So I don't even know what that means. Everything's in the middle? I don't know. So, anyways, 4 continents it is. Um, a large map is way too big for a playthrough like this. We're going to do a small. Wrapped world is fine. We're going to leave everything else default. I don't know if 8 nations. Boy, 8 nations on small seems like a lot to me. But we'll go ahead and try it. And let's go. Waiting, waiting, waiting.
Seeker of the cosmos, Nicholas Copernicus, visionary of
Okay, so here we go. First thing that should jump out to you is it's very Civ-like, except every region on the map does have these drawn borders, and that's intentional. So we have settled in this region here, and that region is broken up into 5 zones, and you can see by me highlighting my mouse. So there's 5 zones in that region, and think about like Civilization 6. These are I can build one improvement in each of these regions, so one and only one, and that's it. That region's full, and I can't build anything else in that region for the rest of the game. I can sometimes upgrade things, like for example, if you have a logging camp, it can later upgrade to a sawmill, right? Which can later maybe upgrade to an industrial mill. Like those kind of things can happen, but it's one thing per. And also to understand is that your citizens have a quality of life bar that's measured by these different things. So you have happiness, health, knowledge, prosperity, and security. And each of these are separate measures. So you could have really high happiness but low knowledge, for example. And the balance of all of those makes up what's called the overall quality of life. If the quality of life is high enough, you earn what's called golden era points. And then eventually, if you get enough points, you obtain a golden era, which then gives you all kinds of other cash and prizes. In the ancient era, you have basically 4 primary resources: food, wealth, timber, and materials. But do not underestimate those are your primary resources. You could also see over here we have troops. We have, well, this is like keeping track of your goods and resources and knowledge. But where I'm going is here. Let's see, what's the best way to represent this? Maybe it's... I don't want to show any of this yet. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So you have a crafting tab, and right now we have just a great hearth because we have one district created. It's our great hearth. So right now it is producing a feast, and it's going to produce one feast every 42 turns, which is ridiculously slow. The feast will give us all these bonuses: 25 city growth, 5 city food, 10 happiness. So, who consumes the feast? Well, cities do. So I can click over here on amenities and tell this city to start having feasts, which will then give it all those bonuses. So, this great hearth produces this feast, and I can give it supplies. So if I have any of these things, like a gear or a wheel, that will help the feast to increase its production. Right now, this great hearth produces 12 production points. And I get a +2 because I'm efficient. I have a... Copernicus must have the efficiency skill. We'll have to look that up again to make sure. I can assign an expert as the city grows, which will give it a 150% boost. Don't have one yet. I can produce jewelry instead of a feast if I'd like, but right now feast is fine. And then I have these 3 boosts here. So, like we said, we produce 12. that goes towards a feast, which costs. Oh, what's the cost for a feast? I know it's written somewhere. So we're going to make an infinite of those. Gosh darn it, where is the cost? 500. I see it there. It should be written somewhere. How come I don't see the 500 somewhere? Ah. Anyways, it's 500, folks. I'm producing 12. But if I come here and I say, hey, I want to add 2 food a turn to this, now I just added 50 more production, and now I'm going to produce it in 9 turns. A city that consumes a feast will consume 1 every 10 turns. So if I'm producing 1 every 9 turns, this will sustain 1 city infinitely, because I'll produce 1 every 9, and this will consume 1 every 10. So how do I know this? How do you figure that out from the mechanics here? Technically, you don't. Like, first of all, I can tell I'm producing 1 every 9. Hopefully, you can at least reach me there. I was just trying to see if this. Like, where do I know that it's 500 without clicking on that? But, anyways, that's the first part of this. Oh, right here it is. Look at this. If you hover over this, 500. There's your production cost. And then here's what we're producing. So I'm getting 50 of it because I'm supplying 2 food a turn. And then you can add more. Like if I want to add 2 wealth a turn, right? I have a plus 11 now. That would go drop to plus 9. If I want to do that, I'm going to add 25 more production to it. And then produce 1 every 6 turns. And you can tweak these as much as you want. Now, this is 1 district out of 5 for just that 1 region. Now, can you imagine if I have 5 districts that are like so? The micromanagement of this game grows. We're not even talking about how are we going to expand our civilization, any of those things. I'm talking about how I'm going to make a feast to improve my people in my city. And so, anyways, let's go ahead and back out of this. So now we're producing a feast every 9 turns. The city itself, when it grows in size, will start to allow us to apply amenities. There's none available because we haven't produced a feast yet, but once we do, I will be able to select this, and then it'll tell me that it's once every 10 turns. And then I got to get to tier 3 before I can consume another amenity. So right now I'm producing an amenity out of the hopes that I can consume the amenity later. Okay, now one thing I wanted to also show is in this crafting, we have, was it crafting? Here we go, inventory. So this is showing all the resources we have. I'm going to click show all items just to show you real quick. Look at all the things you can have in this game. And I'm scrolling slowly here. Actually, I'm scrolling at a moderate rate. Those are just basic resources. And then you can see there's 110 goods that you can produce. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And then these are all the different military troops you can have. And then you can produce what's called masterpieces, which we'll get into that in a second. But just, you know, from an industry perspective, you have all these things. Like, look, you can make tractors. So there's all these industry goods that you produce, and all of that is managed within these city builds. It gets crazy, folks. So one of the first things you got to do when you're playing this game is your city needs to select a project, which is the same as saying, hey, let's build something. So we happen to have wooded areas all around us, and this is important because in a wooded area, it would be really nice to be able to chop wood, but I don't have the ability to chop wood at the moment. So what I'm going to do is we need to make a farm because we need food. So I'm gonna put a farm on this one because these three are wooded, and let's do a farm here. And so you can see that this district is now going to have a farm, and it's going to take 7 turns to produce it. And you can see that elsewhere here. This is, of course, if you have enough cash, you can just speed up the production. And then it's just showing that this is number one on the queue, meaning it's the next thing being produced. Because you can queue up more than one item. Um, for now, that's really all there is to discuss. We're producing 10 of production a turn. We've got 6 research a turn. This 10 production a turn is being used to make the farm. Okay, that's different than clicking on the hearth and seeing that this has 12. This is called craft production. Craft production is different than city production. Just want to make sure you understood that. So the city produces 10 a turn to making like a new district, but this particular hearth has a craft production of 12. And that's very important. And you can see our population is growing, and so forth. Now, it's stunted a little bit because I chose to add 2 food to the feast. And you can see my armed forces are consuming 1. And because of crafting, I'm consuming 2 more. So we're ticking down instead of up. But we do have 100 in reserve, so there's no need to panic yet. And as soon as our farm finishes in 7 turns, we'll be producing food again. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, one thing else that could be considered a little cheesy is this is your scout. And they show it in this big, I don't know. I mean, I guess, could it be better? Yeah, I like it though. It's very pronounced. You can never complain that you can't see it. So a couple of things going on. You can see that there's resources that are just naturally there. So if our city expands into those resources, we can claim them for ourselves. But there's also roaming creatures that are going to be a problem, and we got to take care of that as well. Now, one thing that I know, if you play Civilization, you have this mindset that when you build a city, that city can only go 3 tiles out in every direction, and that's it. So when you click on a city, you know, this is all you can do, and that's it. No, as this city grows in population, it's going to be able to claim another region. And it can claim like an amoeba or a snake. Like, if I want to go straight west, I can keep claiming this region, and then whatever region's over here, and keep going west, and I can ignore all these other regions around the city just fine. There is no requirement that I have to radially expand. I can, in fact, find another city over here, which is adjacent to this one, and this one only expands west, and this one only expands east. I can do that. There is nothing in this game stopping you from doing that kind of stuff. So just understand that. Now one thing we can explore together is there a penalty as I start expanding only west? Like if I'm radially further away from the original spot, is there some kind of like penalty I incur? I don't think there is, but let's discover that together. I'm not an expert at this game, so I'm still learning it, and I just want to share it with you. So, anyways, I just wanted to explain that the way cities expand is you get to control it. Alright, so this scout can do 3 things for us. Obviously, remove the fog of war, right? You know, we have all this unexplored area around us. The second thing is it can be used to remove these predators. So it can go hunting. And the third thing it can do is pick up these little goodies. And so we're going to go pick up this goodie first. Now, the other thing to understand is, like, this looks weird, right? The way this game works is everybody takes their turn at the exact same time. So what this is an order to move into this region, but he hasn't moved yet. When I hit end turn, then the order gets executed. And so if somebody else is over here and they're ordering their guy to move into this region, we're going to inadvertently have an interaction, or likely a combat. So if you're chasing somebody and you want to kill this guy, I could be here and the other guy's here, and if he wants to kill me, he could try to move into my region, but I'm moving out of my region, and so we both hit end turn, and neither of us find each other because he's moving in and I'm moving out, and we never see each other. All he sees is my empty fire ring. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure everybody understood um, some of the weirdness of like when you tell somebody to move, it doesn't happen until you hit end turn. So everything, consider this as a queued up action. So if I want to change it, it's it's easy to do because the movement hasn't actually occurred yet. So I'm going to move it back to the goody hut here. That also explains why these regions haven't been explored yet. So after I hit end turn, he'll move in, and then these regions will reveal themselves. Okay, so that's how that works. I think I belabored as much as possible. In terms of the interface itself, your resources, your main resources here. As you know, there's a lot of goods and other resources here. Couple of things. If you click on your actual character, this gives you the information about all the bonuses you have. And in one of them, this one here, efficient, is the reason why I got the +2 bonus in the hearth for making the feast at +20% right there. And then, of course, as we gain religion and other things, this would fill in. Um, a critical part of this game is we have 2 prestige points, and we are currently #1 in the world. Um, when we moved to the next act, two nations that are in the forgettable rank will be wiped out from history. So one of the ways that you can get eliminated in this game is not through conquest, but by not scoring enough points. So if you're ranked 7th and 8th whenever this transition occurs, your civilizations just get wiped out. And this happened to somebody who was actually encroaching and like their borders, they just kept pushing their borders up against mine. The AI is annoying that way. They have all this open space and yet they settle their people right in your area. Um, so this one of them was one of these two, and they got wiped out. And then all of a sudden, bam! I had all this area that I could explore and go into. It was great. Um, so, anyways, you don't want to be at the bottom. And these little I always forget what these are called. It's a Roman term, but anyways, those will fade based on your scores there. We're #1, so that's why we got the bold gold, but it'll fade as you move down. Um, so I'm just going to go through these real quick. So this one is for managing your government. We are a chiefdom. We are allowed to have 3 cities total. That's it. Now later on, we will get the ability to change our government, and this number will change. At the Middle Ages, I was able to have up to 8 cities, just to give you some perspective. Eventually, you're going to get a religion, and then what you do is you add verses, which think of verses as bonuses that you get for your whole civilization. And I had like I think 4 or 5 verses with my particular civ. Here's the term I was looking for: paragon. So this is where you get scientists and other people to join you, and they have like one of 5 or 6 ways that they can help your civilization. So if you get that said scientist, you can have him be advisors to your nations in various ways. And one of those ways is to make, I already forgot the term, masterpieces. And so they can make one of these masterpieces. And that, of course, gets you points and things of that nature. This one, of course, is getting into regions that you've discovered. Obviously, we haven't discovered any yet, so nothing to worry about here. And I don't think I use this very often. And then this last one are your advisors. So remember, you get those paragons. So you can assign a paragon to be your chief advisor. And you can see all the different things. And then your domestic advisor, foreign, military, culture, right? There's different things that they can be advisors for. And certain paragons, and yes, that right here is that Copernicus. Why is he not just a scientist? And you can see there's strategists, pioneers, engineers, There's a lot of different paragons you can end up getting. Um, okay, so that gets you through that. This here is your military, and so if you click on this, it'll let you view your forces, and then these are when you make a unit. Let's say I make an archer, it'll be in our reserve, and then only when I take it out of reserve can I form a well, here's the reserves, and then I can form a squad or a battalion, which consists of three. So I would need to know, like, I have an archer, a spearman, and something else. And you can select a paragon to be a part of this. I think to be like a general. Um, and then there's going to be different formations you can choose, which will give you bonuses. But the formations will require like a ranged unit in the back and two land units up front, for example. Um, and then eventually you're going to learn through technology more and more of these and more of those. So this starts to really flesh out as you go. It's very rudimentary right now, but it gets better and better as you go through the game. And just a reminder, that's here in the bottom left. Now this here is your land forces cap. So it's saying I can only have two land forces. And remember, a force is like a battalion or a squad. So a battalion actually has 3 units in it. So I can have 2 battalions or 1 battalion and 1 squad is what this is saying. I can have 2 sea units. I can have 2 air units, which of course they don't exist at this stage of the game. And I'm going to have 3 cities. So there's some cap stuff here. This is my progress towards the Golden Age. So my prosperity is the only thing high enough giving me Golden Age points right now. And that's because this guy gives me a straight up 15 prosperity in all cities. So by doing nothing, our prosperity is green. So if you get all these to green, they start producing Golden Age points. Getting over to here, you start to get goals in the game. They're given to you. I think sometimes you have choices. Like, for example, I had a goal to build Stonehenge, or another like world wonder type of thing. Um, I've played this. This is my 4th time, and like I said, I've only ever made it to the Middle Ages before I quit each time. Um, and some of the playthroughs haven't even gotten to the Middle Ages before I quit. Um, these goals seem to be like at some point in the game you're going to be given a choice to get a goal. Sometimes the goal is chosen for you, but it appears here, and it's big. It's big points if you can achieve that goal. All right. Um, so these just fill in. Crafting. This is a nice way to see everything that you're doing from a crafting perspective. This can fill up really rapidly. It can get rather cumbersome. This can stand to use some improvement. I hope that future expansions will help with the micromanagement, the tedium of the micromanagement. This game has a lot of micromanagement. If you don't like micromanagement, this is not the game for you. We talked about this a bit. I'm showing all items, but really, at this stage in the game, there's only 3 resources. And then, of course, there's goods. We own 0 of them, but the goods available for us to own is quite a bit more. And here you can see our masterpieces, and we don't have any. And the way the masterpieces work is I take a paragon, I assign them to a particular district, and then they work on masterpieces. So, like, this is like they can produce a book, for example. And then, last but not least, diplomacy. As you start meeting people, we'll use this more. This here is just showing the 3 things that are happening. So I had my scouts queued up to do this action. I'm building a farm, and we're changing the crafting queue. Because remember, nothing actually happens until I hit end turn. And then this is your classic civilization stuff. Hey, we found a cache, and hey, we found a city, we earned a point. I'm going to hit end turn. So now everything happened. He's going up after the cache, and then we revealed some more land. And then on turn 2, you can pick your research. Now, this is the most bizarre thing in the game. Um, they do have a library, and here you could see. Okay, so we're in ancient history, so we're going, and this is all Act One. We're going to be researching from this pool of stuff. There is a point after you've researched enough of these. I believe 5 is actually the point. After I've researched 5 of these, I can then move to the Bronze Age. If I move to the Bronze Age, then everything else that's in here is wiped out from history. I never invented. And some of these goods that you can produce, or some of these world wonders that you can produce, um, never are eligible to you. But here's what's crazy. Like here, for example, there's a wheel. In the Bronze Age, this might be a bad example. Um, it is a bad example because there's no wheel here. Let me see if there's a different one. Uh, okay, ceramic pots and masonry. I would swear there was ceramic something. Yeah, I'm using bad examples. Oh no, right here, pottery, right? That produces ceramic pots. You see that? This is perfect. So if I do pottery, I can make ceramic pots here in the ancient era. But if I go to the Bronze Age, I can research masonry and get ceramic pots there. So there's 2 different ways for your civilization to figure out how to make ceramic pots. So I don't arguably need both, but the other half of pottery is I can make a ceramic shop. Whereas in masonry, I can also make a ceramic shop. But I also can make the Great Pyramid of Giza. So this is the part that the game does not help you very much with. And I'm actually realizing this as I'm talking to you. I don't need to invent pottery. I can go, that could be one of the ones I skip because as long as I do masonry, then I will get all the benefits of pottery here. I just got to wait a little bit longer. So that's something to understand. And this is where the game gets, you could get really bogged down in the minutia. Because like, how would you know that? You don't know that until you sit here and you study it. Sacred rites is how you get a religion. So let's get into some more of this, like leatherworking here. I think this is unique. Trading, ironworking, all those are unique. This gives you new government. Um, yeah, it's really interesting. The masonry gives you the dang pots. So yeah, pottery is something we can skip. I am learning something new. Then if you go to Act 2, so this is where I quit the game. I was in the early Middle Ages, but look, it keeps going. And then in Act 3, it goes to the Singularity Age. Okay, so 3 acts in the game. Alright, so we just learned we don't need to go after pottery. So we can skip this one, which I find absolutely fascinating. And then here you can see the Bronze Era. You need 5 or more technologies. So let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 of these you would need to skip if you wanted to go straight to bronze. We just learned that we can skip pottery and be fine. Is there one more I can skip? That's the question. Um, I'm wondering if I could skip grain storage. Let's look at the next era here. That might be a tough order to skip grain storage. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Like right here, the wheel gives you the logging camp. See that? Whereas you get the logging camp from. Well, here's another one. Bronze working gives you the hunting camp, but archery also gives you the hunting camp. You see that? You get a watchtower and archers. So there's different ways to get the same thing, and that's what makes the game a little challenging. Here we go, rope making. Right there, you get the logging camp from rope making, Stonehenge, fishing nets, the rope itself, and you can harvest fish. So if you skipped, look, you can harvest fish if you get sails. Let's see, fabric. So you can get the fish part from sails. You can get the logging camp from the wheel. So you don't need that for rope making. Um, wow, it's just so bizarre. Where can I get the fishing net? So this lets me harvest fish, but not to use the fishing net. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of these is the fishing net. It's just somewhere else. So it's a bizarre decision in the game. I really wish the game would tell me, hey, if you're going to research this, you can also get it if you research something else instead. Now, what are these pots used for? We keep talking about these pots. I use them to craft all these items here. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. I use it to construct certain. These are all world wonders. So if I want to make the Colossus of Rhodes, I need to have 20 pots. They're, of course, crafted at this shop. And then you can use them as supply input for these different areas. So just that one little pot is used in so many ways. And that's the part where this game, like, your brain starts to melt. And I do appreciate that they tell you all these things, but there's so much more that they could still tell you, or visually, I would like it if they help me to visualize things just a little bit more. There is a supply chain to this game, and sometimes you need to understand the supply chain a little better than just this one view. Anyways, what are we going to research first? I would have told you rope making is important. So prior to knowing that you could skip, rope making is very important because I need to be able to build logging camps. Timber is extremely important in early game, and it's the only way you can increase your timber, other than building more cities. Also, because we have grapes here, we might want to start making wine. This fermenting is a good one to skip if you don't have grapes near you. It's a perfect one to skip, in fact, if you don't have grapes near you. But we do. One thing we don't have near us is the tea leaves. So maybe herbalism is something we can skip for now. When I'm thinking about like just building 5 of these and then moving on. So this will get you points straight up. But I'm going to go for rope making because since we have all these trees, I would like to start getting some wood. And I spent a lot of time talking about this. Trust me, it'll get better. And there we go. So we finished our cache, and we found a plow. A plow is something that can be produced. We don't have a building that produces them yet, but basically we need hundreds of these. So very good. Now what do I do? Well, I can explore. There's even an auto explore button out here somewhere. I don't remember where. Right there. But I'm not going to do that either. We're going to go ahead and it does show you the danger level of the predator. So since this has 2 resources that we want, we're going to go start clearing out those predators. And every turn, it shows that your city is producing, these things. Alright, so we got here. There was a little bit of exploration that happened as well. We discovered a new cache. And these are just goodies, as we explained before. Here you can see our farm is 3 turns away. Just continue to hit and turn. This is showing our growth for our city. We get to tier 2 when this thing fills up. It's going to take 7 turns, and you can see that we are growing. Actually, let's think about this. So right now we have 0 experts. We have 1 amenity. Oh, I see. It's saying that when we grow to the next level, we're going to get 1 more research point and our production will double. That's what this is. So when we go to, yeah, city tier 2 unlocks all of this. I see. I see. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. All right. So we cleared out the predators. And one thing that to understand is if you read this here, there's a 50% chance that each unit in the force loses 10 health. Otherwise, you lose 5. So just trying to hunt that predator is going to cause damage. And so you can see that the scout is half damaged. So we're going to go ahead and heal the scout. And you can see that it gives you the feedback. And then for hunting the predator, we found a fur, leather, and a feast. So if we come back up here, remember we were talking about we have this, but we had no goods. Now we have 1 feast, and we have 4 leather and 1 plow. And this is showing that I'm actually producing feasts. I'm not producing these. So I have inventory of these, but I'm not producing any more. That is extremely valuable. I do really appreciate that feedback. So that means we can click on our city, and remember there's room for 1 amenity, and we're going to go ahead and take the feast. And here it tells you it's going to consume 1 every 10 turns. But like I said, we produce 1 every 9 turns. So this will give us 25 city growth, which is going to help immensely here. 5 city food, which is going to help us there. And 10 happiness. And just like that, I'm spending 2 food to make a feast, which is giving me 5 food a turn. Now that's some voodoo math there, isn't it? So I'm spending 2 food a turn to make a feast. And by consuming this feast, I'm getting 5 food a turn. So my net food production is +4. So that's something you gotta really strongly take into consideration. Because you might be like, but that wasn't worth the 2 food a turn. Absolutely it is. If this thing gave me money every turn, then we should spend the $2 too. And now you can see we have 2 green items, and then we go to the golden age. We're now producing 2 golden age points. All right, let's keep going. Okay, the farm has finished. So now when you click on your city, there's 2 of these in place. We talked about this one to death. Here we're spending the this is consuming 4 food a turn. I don't know how that changed. I thought it was 2. No, it's 2. Anyways, we're consuming 4, I guess. And see, I need syrup and spice, which we don't have yet, or rice or grains. So yes, this is still on its way. 1 is going to be produced in 2 turns. And then you have this waste thing. So we didn't use resources part of rounding. Interesting. Here you can see all the different tools. One of them could have been a plow, but the tools change. So these ones are like, like you got the lithic tools, you got the wheel. Over here, this is more like a light bulb. Like there's no wheel on this list. So always be mindful. If there's 4 plus signs, it's 4 unique lists of things. And like this one, a computer or a book, like we're not going to have those for a while, right? Okay, So, and then this is also producing 10 money a turn for us. So a lot of our money is coming from this hearth. But we just produced a farm. Now, a farm is going to produce 2.6 food a turn. You can see we got better food output. And we can put in the plow, for example. And what it does is it does not consume the plow, it uses it. So I can add the plow to it, right? And then if I take the plow away, we still have the plow in our inventory. But by adding the plow to it, now we're not going to have plow in our inventory. So if we go look at our other stuff, there won't be a plow. Well, what does the plow do? It adds 50% harvest production. So this is going to jump. I don't think you're going to see the jump until next turn. And you can see that there's 72 production going towards this. So actually, hold on. There we go. 64 jumps to 72. So you have the farm, you have the city production. It makes 72 total production, and then you can see that this is 25 is required, so it's in increments of 25. 25 times 3 is 75, so we're just under 3. Makes total sense. We're making 2.9 a turn. And then it gives you all your modifiers here. Alright, so farms work a little different, but you can still add experts. They do have a maintenance of 1 wood per turn. So that's the reason why we need lumber mills, because every time we build something, it's consuming wood. All right. Got to produce a new project. We don't have the technology figured out yet to make a timber mill. We could make a workshop, and look at all the things a workshop can produce. It's nuts. You also need dwellings, which will help with your housing. But right now we can house up to 5 no problem. We can also make a spearman, which will just help us militarily. And I think the thing I want to do right now is make a scout. So let's do that. We got to get another scout on the board. And there we go. We got our rope making. Alright, so what's next? I don't know if there's a particular order they need to do things. I don't think it ever hurts to have your military in track. So let's do that one. Okay, so the city tier went up, and let me just show you. When you're in your city view, this flag shows up, which takes you to the view you just saw. So now we get to claim a region around us. And it's anyone we want. And it tells you, like, if you claim this region, you're going to get 2 food, 1 wood, right? This one would give you 3 wood. I think I want to claim this one because it has the grapes and the rice. So we're going to go ahead and claim this. And this is going to take, as you can see, the zone, it has 4 zones in it. Some of these have more zones than others, which means you can build more districts or more improvements. And it'll take a turn before that claim finishes. It's just letting me know I healed. And we made a feast. So we've crafted our first feast, and now it's, 7 turns instead of 9, because our production went up. And that's even better, because we need to queue up a bunch of these. If we ever build a second city, right, we want both cities consuming feasts. Alright, so then our claim is finished. We now claim this region. Now, because these wolves are here, let me show you. That region, that district, if you will, is unusable until I clear out the wolves. But I have the grapes and the rice available. And it hovers over the grapes to show you, if you build a farm here, you'll produce grapes and food. It produces 2 resources. And then same with the rice. The rice produces rice grain, food, and then eventually malt. but you got to unlock certain technologies. And it's showing you can only build 2 improvements here. This, by the way, is wonders. They call it triumphs instead of wonders. This, of course, is your. They call it specialists, but you're building your scouts or your settlers, and then of course your units are your military, and then special project is stuff like this, and then of course this is everything. All right, so now one thing I was wondering is, okay, I have 2 regions. Does that mean I have 2 different production queues? Nope. It's still one city producing one thing at a time. So if I'm producing this farm here, I'm not producing anything up here. But once these things finish, they produce independently. This is always producing feasts. This is always producing food. So there's different levels of production in this game. All right, so my scouts healed. Let's go ahead and clear out these wolves. And bam, we got 5 food. I guess we're eating some wolf's on the menu tonight, boys. And my dog looked at me and was very distressed. All right, let's go pick up some cash. Our city is idle, so we just finished our scouts. And here we can build something else. And yeah, now we got the ability to build our logging camps. And I think we should do exactly that. So this is tough. You need a million workshops in this game. At least that's my lesson so far. But so we have, there's several things we can do here. There's forest everywhere. So building logging camps is something we can do in any of these regions. And then let me be clear, you can build a logging camp even in an area that doesn't look like it has trees at all. It still produces wood. Um, it's a little weird that way. The region itself produces naturally, like this one produces 3 wood naturally, 3 food naturally, because it's grassland and it has trees in it. So my obsession with building the the logging mills right here might be a little, but let's get one going. Let's just build at least one. So we're going to build a logging camp there because we need this. I know we're producing 3, but we need more than that going. And eventually, once this gets high enough, we want to produce a settler. In fact, they're going to let us do that now. So the settler is the higher priority. We're going to build that first and see it used up all of our bonus food. So this plus we needed to build the farms initially, so we can get a settler going. And remember, our civilization can handle 3 cities right now. All right, so we got another scout. Let's go ahead and clear out these. It also serves doubly as a explorer. So here we found a sheep, another cache. So this cache is a ruins cache, whereas that one's a equipment cache. We finished our archery, and then we learned wedge formation. So we got ourselves a new formation from this. And we scored 5 points. A lot of really cool synergies going on. Again, the research is going quicker than our ability to produce. But let's do animal husbandry. We have this guy ready to go. We do need to clear that out, but I'm going to go after the cache. And here you can see we're unlocking all this stuff, which hardly any of it's useful, but we did find a sheep right here. And you can see the city's growing still. Oh, we already met another nation. I was concerned about this. So we met the United States. 8 people on a small map. I knew this was going to be a problem. I think I was playing 8 people on a large map last time. This is just their scouts. So wherever they are, I think that's them right there. You can see like there looks like a little border. So I'm glad I'm grabbing up the cash. It also means this is where our settler's going. We're gonna go claim down here, so that way we keep the stuff up above to ourselves. All right, so you can see we're collecting some stuff. Um, we consumed another feast because we apparently are on turn 20. We're actually on turn 17. How did that happen? We lost health. We gained stuff. And we just collected another feast and crafted another one. So I'm going to make sure. So I can't go into mountains, of course. We're going to go down here and just get them explored. Here you can see we're pretty injured, so I better heal up. 2 turns away from our settler. And there, you can see. So Washington, wherever it is, it's further down. And there's some... We're just going to keep exploring down here. And there it be. So Washington is right there. There are 2 regions just like us. And boom, we got our first paragon. What triggers a paragon? I'm assuming it's the fact that we got a size 3 city, but I don't know where in the game it explains that to you. So the different paragons, of course, give you different things. So first thing to understand is Chief Advisor is one of the roles he could be. This particular paragon, and I said he, this looks like a she. This particular paragon can only do one of these roles, not all of them. So that's the first thing to understand. And I could switch her, like I could make her a chief advisor and then later change her to a domestic advisor. But the point though is that if I take her into my society, I'm only assigning her to one role at a time. So if she's leading my force, which is like a general, she gives me blah blah blah, this experience bonus. If I'm having her make masterpieces, she can make books. This one can make textiles. Alright, so different masterpieces they can produce. Military advisor, plus 10 bonus experience to all new forces. Right? She's a strategist, so 10% force strength, right? 20% strength. So if I want to go to war with Washington, Fu Hao might be the best way to go. This one gives me vision in all cities, city growth, but only if they're less than size 5. The pioneers, I'm not very impressed with, by the way. This is a great early game bonus, but it's horrible later in the game, and almost all these bonuses are meh. It just makes your scouts stronger. The 5 research per turn, I think, is amazing early game bonus to have. So even though I might end up going to war with USA here, I'm actually going to select her. And then you get to pick, okay, where's she going to go? And I'm going to choose 5 research per turn. And then bam, she's doing that role. And if I ever hit the minus sign, it'll remove her from the role, and then I get to reassign her to something else. And that's what this little exclamation up here was getting at. And then you have events in the game. So this one is giving us a goal. Remember we were talking about the goals? Be the first to build the great lighthouse. So we're locking a goal. See, I had no choice. This is just a goal I'm being given. I say yes, and then bam, I have to be the first to build the great lighthouse. And I'd get 150 prestige if I do. I have to have navigation to unlock this. Alright, so here you can see my explorer. I might as well keep going. We finished researching this, which was good. We definitely need fermenting because we got grapes in our area. Just going to keep going. They have a settler. And I guarantee you they're moving up towards us. And why hasn't our settler finished? I don't know. We're a turn away. And now we get to claim another area. So I can keep going down if I think the settler is going to get in here, get in our business. What a tough call that is. Because if I rush a settler down here, I don't want to claim down because then I'm removing spaces that they can use. I'm going to move towards the sheep here. So I'm going to claim this one. It also helps to have adjacent to water if you ever want to build docks or anything like that. We have our settler available. I don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm going straight down.
Boy no older than 16 enters your court, springing with excitement.
I don't know if you can hear it.
He and his friends were climbing trees, and while sitting atop a giant oak, he spotted a raised and unnaturally round hill and smoke, as though from a campfire rising in the distance. He requests support to safely investigate.
So I'm going to lower my security and my capital. For 10 turns, I do get 5 jewelry, which is awesome, and 5 ceramic pots, and let him go become a man. So that's pretty awesome. Getting the jewelry and the pots was an unexpected boon. As the city grows, I can add jewelry to the list. I'm not making jewelry yet, but if I did, I could increase the happiness and prosperity by quite a bit. So I'm not going to do any yet. I'm just going to leave it blank. And then here, this is red because I accepted the minus 10 security for a while. So if Washington declares war on me, I do have a potential problem. And alright, so I'm still exploring. Oh, that's interesting. I never found gemstones before. I want to get back up to where I am because I need to explore around me. It's nice to know that Washington can go this way. And look, their settler is actually going the other way. I actually think that's really good news for us. Alright, I'm still going to just move up. My settler's moving down. I could have said, hey, settle here, but I'm moving them first, and then we'll decide to settle later. Alright, we finished another research. And here you can see I need one more. So for skipping pottery and herbalism, we're going to do grain storage. Keep the exploration going. All kinds of nice goodies there. Alright, and then I'm going to say settle. This one only has 3. We're going to go ahead and settle Miami here. Let's go get some goodies. This guy's available again. So this is rare for me. I'm usually way down here. I don't know if it's just because I'm playing Copernicus, but I have 92 points. I think, because he's given me, see, quality of life has given me 2 points every turn. Remember, he gives you that that bump in your prosperity. I'm just getting points for free by picking this character. And in my game, Poland was at the top in my game as well. The AI Poland. You'll hear people say that the AI in this game is weak. Some AI, as you can see, I'm scoring points for free just because Copernicus has abilities that gives me points. The AI also achieves the same thing. So Copernicus AI in my game was winning the game, um, because he gets all these free points. And I was George Washington, and it's a lot harder to earn points with him because he doesn't give you a lot of uh, bonuses down here that help you to get those free points. I mean, he's giving you production bonuses and things like that, housing bonuses, but those bonuses aren't, translating into victory points. So I think the reason why people think the AI is poor is, are they? Well, one thing I will tell you is they do encroach on you. The fact that Washington didn't send his settler towards me, I'm really impressed by, because the last game I played, they were doing that to me hard. But the other thing is, yeah, I mean, the AI does declare war on you. Are they effective at it? Not really. But I'm playing normal difficulty. I don't know if it changes. Um, but yeah, I would assume that is an AI doing good or not good would depend on are they winning the game or not. And it's looking like, okay, I'm winning the game and I'm winning it easily. Well, I'm getting a bunch of free points. It's not because of something I'm doing. It's just because of my traits. And again, I just can't stress enough that AI Poland was winning in all my games as well. All right, so here we go. We researched, so we could research these two things. We could spend 6 more turns and finish this out, or I can go straight to bronze. So we're going to go straight to bronze. And in doing so, we're abandoning the other technologies. And here you can see I'm going to build another set of settlers. Because remember, we can have 3. And I want, you want maximum cities as fast as possible. And then here's my new city. And we need to build here. So we got our city hearth going. And once again, we get to build something. So do I want to build another feast, or do I want to try to build jewelry? Now, the reason you saw 2 there is because you could queue them up and only produce 5 of them. So here I'm saying I want to produce infinite jewelry. It's going to take 125 turns. It's way too much. If I'm willing to spend 10 wealth, I can add 100 production. That's also 10 wealth. And that's ivory. So see, it's really difficult. But if I do this, for 10 wealth, I can then produce jewelry every 5 turns. And unfortunately, though, it really reduces how much money I'm making. But I can do it. And here you can see with the amenities, I'm going to choose a feast. So now I got both cities using feasts. And then I have, I still have to select my project. So there's some more advanced projects available. Since I'm near Washington, I could choose a watchtower. It does increase the strength of my forces, but more importantly, it adds security, which here you can see is a little bit low. But for the moment, let's get some of our basic things going. So I'm going to do, let's do a logging camp for them as well. Right there. We got another event. So do I want 15 city security, 15 happiness, or knowledge? All 3 of those are just bars on your graph, right? They're all good. I'm going to go ahead and choose knowledge. Since I don't have any buildings that boost my knowledge at the moment. Lots of things going on, right? So we first have a idle unit. And I'm going to go ahead and take on the wolves. We have another event. We found a neutral tribe. So Glogau. If you can, I would recommend that you always try to improve your relationship. You could go to war with them, like make them angry with you. They're not very happy to begin with, but if you get the relationship up high enough, they actually just join your. They sort of pack up their. You don't get their city, but you get all their population, and they give you a bunch of cash and prizes. So they're asking me for 15 timber and 20 materials, which is a lot. But yeah, I'm going to do that and get 5 victory points out of the deal. and +1 to their relationship. So here they are. And you can see they already, by doing what I did, I moved the bar to the middle. And then they actually have troops. So if I mess with them, I got to kill 9 spearmen here. I'm sorry, 2 spearmen with a strength of 9. The better way to put it. It's just giving me, this is just information. This is letting me know that I constructed a logging camp and a gathering hall. We have a casus belli against the United States, and that was our fault. We actually did what they do to us, typically. I put myself right on the border with them, and that gave us a casus belli. If you've played any of the Paradox games, casus belli is just a right to declare war. You can't just declare war for no reason in this game, which I do appreciate. It's a lot different than Civilization in that regard. So here I can actually go and do diplomacy with the actual tribe. There's no options. Or with George Washington. And here you can see I can declare war. I hope that I can, yeah. So you have to choose your casus belli reason. So I can do a war of expansion where I am given a certain number of turns and I lose victory points if I fail my objective. Or I can do a skirmish, which isn't necessarily trying to capture cities. This is just, we're going to kill each other's units. So those are the 2 options. I don't want to do either. I am not. We can, our borders are closed right now. We could choose to open our borders, which I am not going to do, because right now we're neutral and we're favoring less and less with them as each turn goes by. I have a feeling we're going to be not friends with them. I could give them a gift, but I don't really have much to give them. Alright, so here you can see just more updates. One of our hunters took an injury. We got both of them engaged at the moment. The population of Miami is growing, 9 turns. And then I can claim either this. Here you can see Washington claimed another region, and they claimed that one. But my goal, like I said, is I just want to block them off. I don't think the mountains can be claimed. But if I claim this one here, for example, then I at least have them cut off. And they could go north, because you look at this, actually. Here's where their other city went. So now they're going to encroach this way, right? So my 3rd city maybe should be over here, right? So now I'm creating a little hemisphere of protection against them, and that leaves room for me to expand north and east, although I have a feeling with all the snow I'm seeing, we might be near the north end of the map. In fact, look, I can't scroll up any higher. Oh no, it's not letting me scroll. I think I do appreciate that. I have no idea where the north of the map is. That's really good, actually. So yeah, instead of them doing this, they went this way and did that. That's fair. I think the AI was gunning after those gemstones. I never found those before. And look, there's actually tobacco. There's a lot of resources they just grabbed. And then who knows what's here. We could explore that way, but I don't want to. In fact, I want to, let's grab up the goodies while we can. And then I need to clear out the animals. So here we took a lot of damage, so we got to heal up again. And I need to pause real quick. Alright, I am back. I've been gone for a while. I decided, because you weren't able to hear, let's turn the master volume back up. We'll turn the music volume down. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so I think so here you can see we removed some predators. We're finding things, right? Sometimes we're getting feasts, which are pretty nice. We're getting food, a lot of different furs, and then of course, so yeah, our stockpile of goods is growing. Now this minus point 0.1 just is because I have 2 cities consuming them, but only one city is producing them. So that's our issue there. And here's some of those pots, those jars I was telling you about. And yeah, we have so much to do in this game. Some of it is just, what's the right order? I don't always know the answer to that question. So I'm just hitting end turn twice. Always keep an eye on your neighbor here. Alright, so Miami got its first claim. Now this is an interesting choice. United States has done its little shenanigans here. So I can grab this one, but there's only 2 regions in this. 2 is pretty poor. I mean, I still can grab it though. Now remember, you could also grab C regions, which they're not as valuable, but what I'm thinking though is, like, this one's rice. Rice would be nice to have for both cities. And then of course this one's another nice to have. We're going to go ahead and grab this one just so we can finish our close off. So now if America wants to encroach, they're going to have to go this way, which they could theoretically do, but we'll force them to. And see, look, they're actually going after that polar bear there. So I'm glad we took the goodies when we could. So we'll go after this polar bear up here. And you can see we collected another plow. And we crafted a jewelry. And of course we're healing up. Alright, so they want us to do open borders. That means they could send a settler through us, and I don't know if I want to do that. I think for now I'm gonna decline. But I do think, though, I don't necessarily want to go to war with these guys. They're not gonna let me do anything else this turn. Alright. Alright, so I would like to propose an agreement. I don't necessarily want the open borders. Oh, what can we give them? See, these are all expensive items. I don't want to give them any of these. Yeah, we're going to wait. We might end up going to war with these guys. Alright, city is idle. As you can see, just with the little bit of technologies we had, look at how many things we can build now. We built our second set of settlers. There's a whole lot to do here. We got some farms to build. But the thing we want to get going is we got to get at least one workshop going. So let's get that there. We also need a housing district eventually. Not quite yet. So yes, so here's our settler unit. And so if we look over here, if we want to play the encroach game, I think it'd be nice to put a settler unit right here. We can at least get those pigs claimed for ourselves. Claim, claim. The problem is we're going to be boxed in a little bit, but that means that with Warsaw we can expand different directions. This isn't like, it's not like I'm securing all these resources by going over here. What I'm doing is I'm securing a border with Los Angeles. There's probably more resources if I go this way, but we didn't explore very much. And here you can see there's some clam or shellfish. So there's some nice stuff here. But between Miami, you know, Miami's probably going to start going into the water just because it doesn't have that much else left to do. Okay, so let's do this though. Our plan is we're going to settle this region right here whenever he gets there.
Congratulations.
All right.
You are the first nation to reach the Bronze Age.
Okay, so I don't know of anything about the Bronze Age that's all that significant other than we unlocked more stuff. Um, the units tend to be tied to technology or ages, and they do upgrade themselves. I don't think you have to spend money to upgrade them. And obviously, we give up these two technologies. We're still sitting first. Um, this trading one's really good if we can get a good relationship with. Oh, that's why we can't trade with Washington yet. Hopefully, let's keep the relationship with them good enough that we can trade with them. Oh, I know what we want to do. We want to get that goodie. Oh my gosh, we got killed. I never had that happen to me before. Those polar bears, you don't mess with those. Alright, we got our goodies. You can see the water. Uh-oh. I see something up here. Looks like another nation. Alright, we gained another claim. So since I got another city over here, I don't know if I want to claim this way. Oh yeah, we want the sheep. So we're going to go ahead and claim that. And then we get to select another project. I got to replace those scouts, unfortunately. And then for the last zone, there's a lot of stuff to do. But we will do a dwelling. And then we just built a workshop. So here you can see the workshop can produce 4 different items. And right now I just want to produce nothing but lithic tools. It takes 13 turns, but we can spend 1 material. And now it only takes 5 turns. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And it takes lithic tools as input. And by doing that, we just increase our production. And there's a lot of other things that use lithic tools. So lithic tools is going to help a lot of our other industry, which is why you need this workshop going. And we need like to build 8 workshops. And we got our new one over here. And again, I can't recommend enough that farms are always a good first thing to build. It helps your area to grow. And we got to do another feast. So we're going to get another one every 10 turns with this town. And that'll only get better as you as the city grows. So and we can have them also consume a feast, which I think would be a tall order, because now we're consuming 3 feasts with only 2 of them producing them. So for right now, I don't want to do that. All right, so our scout is still doing stuff, and whatever I thought was here wasn't actually there, so that's good. And I'm pretty sure if there was an inactive, so like I have everybody busy doing stuff. Hear the music. I'm so easily amused. Okay, perfect. We got some goodie huts. An event.
The artisans of a nearby tribe have created impressive woven fabrics and patterns for the changing weather. You send your emissaries to trade for some of their work, but they are stopped by the tribe's leader. It is our belief that both our peoples have uniquely skilled artisans. We'd be happy to formally trade these goods to establish a friendship between our people that will last for centuries.
The +1 relationship is worth it. Also, getting a fabric never hurts. I mean, I know you get a 10 turn. This is a temporary delay to get I mean, this fabric is just one of many that you need, but the relationship is worth it.
Envoy arrives at your capital, sent to share a message from their leader. They believe that your fields seem to be suffering from poor soil management. They offer advice on how to manage crop production in exchange for a portion of your grains.
This is a perfect opportunity to improve our relationship with them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it only cost me 20 food. That's a deal. I get 5 bonus food from all farms for 20 turns. It pays for itself in spades. Because as you know, I'm building my second farm right now. And then 20 relationship boost. Huge. Now I just got to finish my technology. So we can trade with them. And here you can see we move to friendly, which is good. We constructed our logging camp, which uses lithic tools. See that? And then this is just like the farm, where it just produces a certain amount of wood based on a production level. Alright, so this was Miami, and I actually made a mistake with Miami. I needed to build the farm first, because that was my advice, right, that I gave, is always build a farm first, and what did I not do? So yeah, let's get a farm going. So we collected our cash, which gave us 100 wealth, 2 precious stones, and a precious metal. That was all good. Crafted another jewelry. We got a lot of goodies up here, so let's just keep grabbing the goodie huts. Miami gets to grab another zone. We can still grab this. It's still there. I want the rice though. See, we got a great relationship. We got to take advantage of that. How are we doing? Where's our research? I know that says research. Is it here? Yeah, and this is like, see, like government, we're getting 90 of our points from that. That's all the free stuff. 81 of it's from quality of life, because we're getting that prosperity bonus just naturally from having him as our leader. 81 of our points was freely given to us. I mean, you take that away, take 81 points off of this, and you can see how we're going to be hovering near the bottom. There we go. Alright, so this is important. We can now build roads, trade goods, and that should let us actually trade. This will give us a new government. We are researching quicker than we can keep up. So I think, well, let's do the wheel, because we need stuff from that. Alright, so many things were done here. So first thing, click on our city. Now we can manage roads. So from Washington to Warsaw takes 25, and then from Warsaw to Kelm, and I believe, nope, we need a relationship with them. Alright, so let's click on him. We need open borders. Okay, fine. I denied the thing, and I wasn't very smart. Alright, here we go. We got our scout back. Let's get all the north and east. I think we're gonna get boxed in here. We did choose a small map. When you choose a large map, there's plenty of room to expand. Ooh, they declined it. That jerk. We used to be friendly. What's going on? Alright, now I'm gonna give him Alright, relationship change to friendly. Alright, so now we gotta see... Oh, I gotta wait 8 turns. You jerk. Alright, I made a mistake. He was willing to do the open borders. It was me that said no. Alright, so there's some goats. So you can see we found some gold. There's a lot of interesting resources up here. These are your overlays, so you could see like the yields here. Like this would produce 2 materials, 3 wood, but only 1 gold. There's some neat resources up here though that are worth getting. The roads get built automatically, if that's what you're wondering. And this one we need. There's some copper. So we do need to go in this direction. There's a lot of interesting resources up here that are useful. You're not necessarily going to get a lot of farms going. Oh, look at this. What kind of land is that? Is that like desert? It looks like it, doesn't it? Wow, what's the... Here, let's turn that back on. Oh, yeah. See, it produces just as much food because of the river, I think. See, like the... Here's the horrible one. Like, this has no food at all. But copper deposit. And then here you got hardly anything going on.
Scholars from a nearby tribe hurriedly seek audience with you to beg for your help. Their latest works and studies are being decried as magic.
I almost always, if I can,
their people from peril.
I want the +1 relationship.
They disagree and believe there are those in power within the tribe that would support their work, but refuse to come out of the shadows without your support to their claim.
So I really like the +1 relationship. I almost don't even care about... Now this gives me 2 books, which is like insane. Because that's, like books are, goods that I can't produce for a long time. And in here I get +10 happiness in all cities, but I lose knowledge in all cities. But yeah, we're going to send our science advisor and just straight up get 5 victory points and +1 relationship. Because there's another village up here. So we're producing these lithic tools, and one of the things you can do is, so for example, these are all of our crafting queues. Remember the workshop produces lithic tools, and if I click on it, that wasn't the one. What was the other one? Is it the hearths? Yeah, see, he uses lithic tools. So we were able to increase the production for the feast. We're producing 1 feast per turn right now, that's cooking. So if we come to Miami, what's interesting is they don't have inputs on theirs. Wow, I didn't expect that. Wow, same with that one. So it's just a 1 in a home? Interesting. I am learning something. Alright, so we got our housing in place. So here you can see it jumped up to 10. Otherwise, we would hit, our cap. So I'll be able to grow this city bigger and bigger. There is so much. First of all, you can see security is low. We can build a watchtower, which will give us +15. So there's ways to get this up. So you're just scoring more and more prestige. But you may also notice that we have specialty resources we probably want to start taking advantage of. So I'm going to start building some farms. One for the sheep, one for the grapes, and one for the rice. So we got ourselves... I don't know why I had to do that twice. But anyways, there's our queue. And so it'll just build one after the next after the next. And yeah. So here... oh, look at that. That meteorite's a really good resource as well. There's some nice resources up here. I just gotta get another settler going. And then this is interesting down here. Let's go for the goodie bag. Alright, so we got a lithic tool and 50 wealth. Alright, some nice exploration going. These two explorers might end up eventually running into each other, but let's go ahead and just explore this way. And let's just keep exploring along the mountains here. Alright, so feedback about the game. Micromanagement is bad. This is where it can be bad, because like look at all these things, each of them is producing something. One thing to understand is you can switch it to this view. So see here with all the plus signs, this is what I want to do. Like I want to add lithic tools to help that logging camp, for example. So now I can see I got a plow on this one, right? And then here's a dwelling, like that needs furniture, right? So you can go through all your industry. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And see what inputs they need. And then if you, like that's for Warsaw, and it's actually showing me my other, well, my other regions, right? So Warsaw is the original region, and then these are the two other regions. I don't have those built yet. Another view is your crafter view. So here you can see we're producing the feast, and it's taking 5 turns. I don't know why it was saying 1 every 2 turns before. And here you can see we could add some more inputs, right, to try to speed that up, but there aren't any. And then of course this is producing the lithic goods. Now, the one thing it doesn't let me do is, like for example, I have to click on this to add these bonuses. So I can't add these bonuses. Like right now, I'm going to be producing rice as soon as I finish my my farm. So I will be able to add another bonus to this, but for now I can't, or shouldn't. And then this is if you want to upgrade it. So there's a crafting guild, right? And you need to have 5 metal ingots and 5 concrete. We don't have that kind of stuff. And also right here you can see so the workshop is what we have now. To get this upgrade, I don't even have that unlocked yet. But it's just showing you that it's and in the same vein, so here's the harvesting ones. You can see the logging camp will eventually upgrade to a sawmill, and the farm will upgrade to an irrigated farm. And we don't have any of that technology unlocked, but just helping you to see all the different ways you can skin the same cat. I like this view. It shows you all your zones, where your free spots are, where your production is, and yeah, if you are starting to like, do I have all my lithic tools assigned everywhere I want them to be? You can always just go straight to this and see bing, 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 bing. Everybody's got their tools. So now I'm going to go to the next city, and I got the same question. Okay, logging camp. Yeah, let's give them a lithic tool. And then here, there's nothing yet. So I only have 3 cities, so it's easy for now. But you can see clearly that as the technology grows and the number of cities you have grow, this is going to start becoming quite a bit of micromanagement. Alright, we researched the wheel, which also lets you build roads. But we already have that technology, and that's what these green check marks are. We already knew these things, so all we did was unlock the wheel and the decorative vase. Arguably, that may have been a technology we could have skipped. I don't know. Oh, let's go for a religion. Alright, so we got this going on. Let's get another plow. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. We have a lot to do. I would like to maybe, since Washington's near us, let's build a spearman. And then an archer. Let's get at least 2 units built. And then let's get a watchtower there. I think that's good enough for now. Get a little bit, they're going to focus on the defensive side of things. Alright, so more to explore. Alright, so we got another claim. And this gives us 3 materials, which is really nice actually. Because right now we don't have a way to generate materials any other way. We've been going this way. We could just radially go around us, because all these are really nice. I mean, we're still getting some materials. And then this is really good wood generation and food and money. This is, actually it's a little bit of everything that's nice. I just feel like I should save this for if Miami wants to come up, or if this one wants to go. It's a good one though. This is actually a good one too. If Washington, yeah, let's take this one. We're gonna take a water zone.
Without people to call it home, your nation cannot reach its full potential.
So we got another one of those goals.
Their dreams, and their
They want us
ethics
to get to
are
10,000
paramount to
population.
progress. The call for you is clear. Build your nation.
So Great Lighthouse, 10,000, and you can see we're well on our way, and whoever's first, so this is sort of a race. Now, this race, you're going to win if you could get these tribes to join you. So that's where getting like this tribe all the way over on the happiness will help. And I don't know, yeah, we still can't do that. We're going to end up at war with him. So this belongs to a tribe we haven't discovered yet, but I'm going to go for the goodie. Alright, so we got our farm, our sheep farm going, so we're getting wool and sheep now. And you can see this also needs a plow. I love the graphics. They do some pretty nice stuff there. Now this here, this overlay, so you can see like that's the wool farm. It's something you can turn off. I think it's this one. Nope. Maybe it's not something you can turn off. But I do like that they let you see the districts and what's in each one. Alright, so we're all the way up here, and like I said, we have so many great resources we've unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and start clearing out the animals. Oh, we ended up meeting a nation. This is, oh no, this is an actual full-fledged...
You met a new culture.
Oh. Alright, we met him. Let's see if we can get that open border right away. That is... Ooh, what is that? Are they on fire? What's going on? It looks like they're at war. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet the Greeks are attacking those people. That's pretty cool. Of course they declined. They're warmongers. We were at a better shot with the United States.
Message reaches you from a
All right.
foreign leader who is constructing a brilliant gate to
Yeah,
protect one of their
we
great
want this.
cities.
We're gonna do it. Yep, and there's Greece. I should not have helped them with the animals. Let's continue exploring. I can keep going this way or go up around this way. I actually don't know what's the best way to go. You know what I'm going to start doing is, I should probably have them start auto-exploring, but we'll go that way. For it being 4 continents, I feel like we're on a large one here. I'm at my city back, so I can't expand up to take these juicy resources before the Greeks do. I do think I can have Kelm grab one of these, though, which helps. And you can see we got some progress going towards our golden age. Alright, so they trust us. Let's see if they'll take the open border now that they trust us. Because actually, I need them now. Now that I know somebody's north of us. Alright, so we got our first unit. I'm not doing anything with it. And just so you understand, if I went to battalion, you can choose tactics here. So if we do line tactics, we need melee, and archer, right? And if I do wedge tactics, it's melee, archer. So, very cool. And that guy would cost me 120 to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because we need to get back to our economy. So we'll get the archer going, and then I actually have more, because if I want to build a battalion, right? I have the watchtower going. I probably want to get one more unit so I can make a battalion. So do I want a line or a wedge? I have no idea. Let's do the line. So this one is also going to be added to the queue, and then we can get back to economy stuff. Alright. Alright, we're idle over here. See, we don't have this anymore, but that's because we should have... There we go, that's the view I want. So I need to build a workshop. We got an archer. They declined again. We're even in the friendly zone. What's going on? Alright, we got another paragon. 10% in all cities. That's really good. This is for wonders. Wonders are hard to make, by the way. This is the first game out of all the games that made wonders extra hard. In Civilization, it was just like, okay, it normally costs you 100 production points to build this, but this wonder costs you 500 production, so it's going to take you 20 turns to finish. With this game, you need not only production points, but you need specific resources. Like, it's really hard. That can be really good as well. Chief Advisor, 5 wealth per turn. This I just need to build a trade post. This can be awesome. You just straight up get 10 prosperity. If I can get either of these civilizations to be nice to me, that's when I can show you the merchants. The +3 merchants is pretty good. This one's already taken with our research guy. And then the profit. This is important once we get religion going. This could be important. I don't know if it's as important as like that is. I like all three. I do. Um, I like the idea of the extra merchants, but right now we're not even using the ones we have. Trust me, if I can get the trade relationship going with one of these, then the merchants come in. And like I said, I screwed up my relationship with the United States, and this game is punishing me for it. Um, I just don't see the Greeks being friendlier. Alexander the Great strikes me as a warmonger. So, as much as I would like this one, I think this one's going to help me the most now. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Imhotep.
Imhotep, deified Egyptian politician, high priest, and step pyramid architect.
So I don't disagree with Nefertiti as a choice, but I would have assumed he would have been a civilization leader more than Nefertiti. But I do understand, you know, Nefertiti wasn't as horrible as some of these other ones. But I think this is what I'm 10% in all cities. Let's go for that. So he just helped all three cities. A little bit. Oh, look, we. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is Greece. Um. Yeah, I better go take care of that. Alright, so we got another new farm. Here you can see we don't have any more plows. That's because we got to build some workshops. All of our free plows are gone. Alright, we got that. It is complete. What are we doing next? Masonry would be... Remember, we said we needed masonry because we didn't take the other one. See, look, there's two of them that lets us build fabric. See, there's still stuff that overlaps with other stuff. This will allow us to expand our government. So let's do this one. Expanding government will let us build more cities. And I think we just met the Romans.
An unknown society.
Another
extends
warmonger.
its hand.
I only need one of them to do open borders, though. Maybe this guy will, because we're far away from him.
Tribes farmers are fascinated by
Look
your
at that.
nation's ability
They don't
to
even
track
have to give up
celestial
anything.
events and predict the shift
Although,
in
grain
seasons
store.
with such
Holy
accuracy.
cow.
They ask if you'd be willing to share your knowledge with them.
Yeah, we're going to do this. That'll help us with our... Yeah, so far it's not claimed. We're getting there. Alright, where are we at here? Looks like he's taking care of the polar bear, which is fine by me. We'll just keep exploring. Yeah, see, why are you not... Yeah, I screwed up. Oh, they declined too. See, that's the thing. So, we took all this stuff to get the... I mean, even our leader gives us extra merchants. And I can't get any of them to trade with me. Alright, we get to grab another... The fish wouldn't be bad. Give us some nice money. This is still available if I want to grab it. can see he's expanded multiple times. He's probably doing the same thing I'm doing. This is not that great. I'll take it. Just because it's going to get gobbled up eventually. Another claim generated. So this is an interesting, more interesting choice. I can grab this one and then eventually grab that one to basically form our line. But right now I can go forward towards him and grab this one, which doesn't hurt. Obviously the pigs would be nice. This is an interesting one just because it's 3. This one has 5 zones. So what is that one? I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. And yeah, our city tier increased. One thing you got to be mindful of is you're going to eventually get specialists. And it'll show up right here. It's blank now, but there'll be something that appears like right here when you have a specialist. There's something that appears here when you get to claim a new territory. And the specialist thing, it's important. Let's see. Is it? I thought there was a way you could just plop your specialist right here. Or you know what? I bet it's here. No? Well, for sure. Yeah, we haven't unlocked them yet. Maybe that's why. So specialists will start appearing up. There'll be like a blank spot. In here, I can show you. These experts. That's what I'm keep calling specialists. So if you have an idle specialist, you can put one here. And then that lets you get that. So you get 5 city craft, 150% harvest. He's still going after the polar bears. Oh. Looks like Greece was coming out to kill some animals with their troops. Our relationship is deteriorating. Alright, so Warsaw is idle. We got multiple farms in place. There's a lot we need to do, but I need another workshop. More than anything else. These other buildings, like... Okay, and then here's another thing. Trading post. I can only build one on the city limit. And it's a source of wealth. You don't actually have to have a trade route, necessarily. But we gotta get another workshop going. And you'll see why... Well, no, let me show you why. Right now we have one workshop that's producing this good. I need workshops to produce every other good you see up there. The rope, the plows, the wheels. We need all those goods. I don't know if they just came in and took our... Nope, we got the fur. So we took some damage. But that's fine. Keep exploring. Oh, I know what we need to do. I apologize. We wanted the masonry. Actually, we wanted the whatever gave us the Great Lighthouse. I forgot it. I'm screwing up in a lot of ways. Warsaw. I said we needed to build that this thing, which is probably true, but more importantly, we need to build the altar. We gotta get our religion going here. And yes, here we go. So we're a chiefdom right now, and if we switch to a monarchy, we're gonna get increase our city cap by 1. We're gonna get intrinsic bonus just for having this government of 10 security and 5 prosperity. We get to add a policy, which is a bonus, and then we're finally gonna start getting taxes, and then we actually get bonuses from this. So we're gonna get happiness, city growth, research, all while the taxes are set to this rate. So as long as it's low, we're getting these bonuses. Whereas, here we're getting nothing. So this is a big deal. And then 5 wealth per turn for each city you own. So I'd get 15 and eventually 20. That's really good. We don't have a palace yet. Although that is pretty awesome. I'm going to take the wealth. So I get that now. So I think that'll go into effect next turn. Oh, there was some goodies. Let's go after the goodies. Alright, so our government changed. We're getting some great wealth just from the government, which is good. Alright. I don't know why that workshop has not completed yet. And here we go. Greece has declared war on us. So, we saw that coming. Yep, we saw that coming. Alright, so we did finish our workshop. We got to build something. Plow's the next most important thing. Rope is extremely... all of these. I just think that plows are the next thing we want to build. And if we actually had access to horses, that gives us a huge bonus. But we don't. We don't have access to cattle either. So I'm going to instead spend 2 materials on it. And unfortunately, that's a small amount of production compared to here. So if I do 25 wealth, that really reduces it. But so I'm just going to have to settle for 1 plow every 11 turns right now. There might be something better to build. So like if we build a rope instead. For example, I have wool. That's more feasible. Or a basket. Also feasible. And then the wheel. So you see how, like, some of these are easier for me to build. Like, this plow is actually one of the harder ones for me to build right now, because I don't have cows or horses. And even though I'm willing to add materials to the mix, it only gives me 25 production and not the big 250 that I need to really reduce that number. So I'm actually going to delete the plow. It's difficult for me to build. And without adding any materials, I can build baskets or wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and do the wheel right now. And delete the other ones. So now I got 1 making lithic tools and 1 making the wheel. And here you can see I could use lithic tools to improve the production by a small amount. And of course we got our war. So, Miami. We got this watchtower going, and then we're gonna also build a spearman. We gotta finish that.
The city streets bustle and brim with life.
So we got to our 10,000.
Chat in the square. Merchants weave.
You know what? One of the reasons maybe why they're not being friendly with me is because I'm winning. That could be a factor. I don't know. Or they're just punishing me. Alright, Alright, so we did our consume. We changed the war. Yep, they got 16 strength points of units. We collected some lithic tools and we crafted one. I should probably get this guy out of here. Yes. I'll let him worry about the animals. Yeah, they're moving towards me. Or maybe they're going after this tribe. No, I'm sorry. That's the tribe's units. Yeah, he's coming after me. Yep. Is this the end? It must be the end of the world. See that right there? I don't know why this is not revealing itself. Alright, so we built our watchtower, but on the wrong end of the map here. It still helps Miami. Their security is nice and green because of that. And then, yes, I'm going to spend money to rush that. Because we're going to get that finished, and then let's get that farm going next. Alright, so we got our... Yep, he's chasing us. This belongs to the tribe that's friendly with us. I don't know if it means that that tribe is going to help me. I have no idea. But we got to get our troops going here. So we need to add a land force. We're going to make it a battalion, and we're going to make it a line. Now, the line unit should... Where's the bonus? 10% strength while fortifying, whereas the wedge is a bonus of 10% strength, period. I probably should have chose the wedge, but that's okay. This was cheaper to build. So we're going to add the spearmen, and the archers. So now we got the line formation in place. And then here you choose where do you want to deploy them. So we're going to deploy them in Warsaw. And it's going to take some time to muster. So they're not going to be available right away. And here you can see I got a line unit that's arriving. And yeah, you can see they have a wedge right now of 3 spearmen. And then that was just a message that is ancient. Yep, let's grab a goodie hut. Alright, so we finished our masonry. And I just realized if we need to build the Great Lighthouse... Uh-oh, none of these let us do that, do they? I'm going to go ahead and do sales. Alright, so we did finish first. How do we build the Great Lighthouse? Navigation. Iron Age. So we're not even... That's another age from now. Alright, so Kelm just finished the workshop. And we got to keep going. So one of the things is you always have to be mindful that you have enough timber. It looks like we're doing okay there. Getting plus 19 is really good because some of these, like, see, that takes 25 timber just straight up just to build it. The butcher shop would be awesome because we have the pigs up here. But we didn't take the pigs area. We took this instead. So what do we want to do? Well, one of the things we should do is let's get our religion thing going. So we're going to build our altar in the final spot here. And then we do need to get housing. So before I even forget, let's get our dwelling going. And then we got to do the same thing in Miami here. So as far as like So for Pennsylvania here, we're going to get an altar, and then we'll get a dwelling going. And in fact, you can see they're maxed out. So we probably should change the priority. We're going to bump both of them above the farm. Look at that, he's got 49 strength. We're in bad shape. Alright, so our mustering begins. We got our line unit, which is only 14 strength. Oh boy. We just built another crafter. So we have this and this being built right now. So what do we want to do next? The plow, we're not improved. We still don't have the cows. I think we want to get a rope going. We do have wool, so we can use that to reduce it to 1 every 5 turns. Oh. Always add lithic tools when you can. That's the whole reason we're building those.
A solemn figure draped in ceremonial vestments.
See, we don't have the spearmen.
Their elder speaks. We are sending our spiritual leader to go forth and do good in this world, spreading our knowledge of the divine. His travels will take him to the land beyond the horizon.
I can delay it, I guess,
forward to his
and build
return
one.
and accounts of his deeds. Will you help secure?
I'll delay it. It's way over here. It's far away. Alright, so we got some nice stuff. I think the Greeks really did wipe out the tribe. There's no tribe there anymore. There's one here. Ah, never mind. I was looking at the wrong spot. So what's going on here? Ah, that tribe attacked them. And if you look at our... So they got some war weariness going on. We don't. Well, because we haven't lost anything. They have. Alright, we have 28 strength with our unit. And we could assign one of our whatchamacallits, our leaders. I don't know if I want to do that. He's reduced to 15 strength, so let's get in on the action and take him down if we can. Alright, somebody got destroyed there. I don't know who. It doesn't say. But we just generated another claim. Oh, look at this. We could grab one of those tobackies. Tobacco would be nice. Yeah, let's grab one. Wow, I didn't think we were going to pull that off. Alright, we grabbed our stuff. There's some frankincense here. That's an interesting... I'm going to go ahead and just heal up for now. Here you can see we lost strength. Some of that strength was boosted because we were in our city. He's at 14, and whoever got killed here was probably troops from the Glogau tribe. See, everything is like stabilizing back to normal. I cannot get... We'll try, but... Alright, so here we go. Warsaw finished the altar, which is excellent. We have, again, like I said, so much to do. We have grapes going on now, so we should have a fermenting pit. So let's do that. And where you put it, it matters because like some of these places um, don't produce a lot of food, but most of the time it doesn't matter. Um, if you want to build a dock, though, it needs to be near a shore. So we're gonna just pick a spot in the back here. All right, let's found a religion. This is very anticlimactic, but we're gonna go ahead and do Christianity. Cathedral's gonna be our improvement, and they call it Polish Christianity because there could be a Russian Christianity, etc. I do find that interesting because most Civ games, like if you want to do a specific religion and somebody else takes it before you, then you're like, oh, I guess I'm stuck. Not in this case. Everybody can be Muslim or Christian or whatever, and it just puts your nationality in front. It's like different denominations. Okay, so as the religion spreads throughout the cities, you'll unlock verses, and the verses will give you more and more power. And right now, there's nobody. Nobody has religion. So George Washington declined. You guys are jerks. Alright, let's keep going. I'm almost ready to turn on Auto Explorer with this guy. Oh, we are doing battle. And we can watch the battle. So that's us. So you can see we only lost 33 hit points. They lost 54, so that worked out for us. We have more strength. Our bonus for being in line formation, though, does not help us in this situation. It's more of a defensive bonus. But you can't leave, at least not that I'm aware of. Like you can see, this is the battle outcome. I have an anti-cavalry modifier, so do they. I have a ranged modifier. They must have lost. Like, they were shooting arrows all the time. Unless I was looking at the wrong side, right? Maybe I was the one with the archers in the back. But anyways, yeah. Another turn goes by, and you can see they just lost a lot more hit points. And I know it's silly, but so unless he does some miracle thing, we're very likely going to win this. And you can see we're going to get minor gains for winning that battle. Where his weariness is getting larger. He has more forces than I do. And this 18 just means there's 18 turns left. What do we get for winning? Great question. I don't know. Victory points, like prestige, is my prediction. Every war I've been in so far has been more of like a stalemate where nobody gets anything. So that's one piece. And here, we just unlocked another government, so we can switch to this, which will help our religion to spread some more. The taxes will be a little bit lower, although some of the bonuses, those are all the same. That's the hard one to decide. You're doing it for the religion spread, or yeah, religious improvements give 4 wealth per turn, which is almost as good as the 5 wealth that you see here. This one is pretty nice. Fine, we will do it. Oh, and we got a verse. So, plus 5%, excuse me, income, plus 1% growth. I'm going 10% build production, baby. That's a really nice bonus. And then again, if you look at the global religions, we're the only one that has one right now. These other ones might eventually, but if we can spread it enough, fast enough, that's why I'm switching to the spread thing. It'll infiltrate Greece and America for sure. And then maybe we can make some impact there. And then, of course, I just changed the government again. There doesn't seem to be a penalty for changing governments. We got another event.
A vision comes to you.
So now they want us to build the Acropolis.
A solitary hill, honoring the glory of a nation.
To
and
build
their
this,
gods.
you need algebra,
To build such a structure,
which is
would
the
ensure a
Antiquities
nation's
era.
standing in the world and its
They give you these goals that are like way out in the future. I don't understand it at all. I do need to build a spearman, and I just realized I need to do something. Like, I'm building all this stuff here, right? The fermenting pit and whatnot. I'm really not playing with my A game here. I gotta get another settler going. So let me get that up there. And then I should probably build that spearman somewhere. I know I have... Yeah, I gotta do that. But let's get a spearman. There. I have 11 turns to build that spearman.
George Washington has embarked on a project to revolutionize agriculture in the United States. He seeks to import new crop varieties to increase food production and sustainability. Washington requests your expertise and resources to support this work. In exchange, he offers a reciprocal transfer of agricultural knowledge and improved trade terms for agricultural products.
I'm going to do this. You might notice that you can not lose the resources and still get the same bonus, just slightly less relationship. I'm just trying to get a trade relationship going with Washington here. If the jerk would just let me. Alright, we got our sales. We can advance to ironworking. I don't know if I want to yet. I might want to build chariots. I don't have horses, but I just feel like I might benefit from... I'm going to at least do weaving. I don't know if I need this. This one might help me, right, to be able to do. I just, I feel like I'm unlocking stuff way quicker than I can build it right now. And yeah, so we got this great relationship going. I can't even propose an open border with him. Where's their... Yeah, there's nothing I can do to change it. See, this is good for alchemy. Alright, so we have another claim. Warsaw again. Now I actually think I want to start going up. So we went this way. This one is only a 2 region. So is that one. This is a nice juicy 4 region one. Yeah, we're gonna grab that one. Oh, and then we got our first specialist right here. And I think that if you switch the view, it does not. I think there used to be a way you could just click, click, click. And maybe I'm just looking at the wrong view, but okay, so specialist, if I click on this, now it takes me to this view where you can see these little empty silhouettes. So this is our sheep farm. So this would increase harvest by 150% and also just straight up give us 1 extra food. Now the harvest on this, unfortunately in this view, it doesn't tell you what the harvest is. And if you hover over it now, the harvest of this one is 1.2 and 1.9. So if you increase this by 50%, you're going to get slightly more sheep and slightly more wool. We're spending 1 wool turn at the moment, if you remember. And see, you can also do it this way, right? I can click right here and add him to this. The other thing I think is maybe the view was this. It is not. Alright, let's get back in the city. Click on this. That's a good one. I'm not saying that it's not. There's some that are clearly better than others in the beginning. So again, this is for making the wheel. So if I want to boost the wheel production, this one I can boost the grape production. Similar way. This is just straight up food. This one, the altar will give us city security, which is one of the components that gives you prestige. So if you're short on points, that's one of the ways to start boosting that. And city security also increases your troop strength. Craft production. Now this is the one I was looking at. So your city center, the hearth, not only does it improve craft production, but it gives you 5 extra wealth a turn. And right now we're sitting at 7. So I think I want to boost that. But there's also, yeah, that one gives you a food. And this one gives you city craft production. So all the craft production in the other regions, or the other zones, get a +5 to their production. So this helps everywhere. So you can see there's 2 really good ones. Which one's more important? I think I'm actually going to go with this one. I know I'm short on this one, but we'll just hopefully get another guy that we can add later. And as the city grows, we will. Alright, so we got this guy here. Let's get some goodies. This one, let's keep exploring. And here, we won. What did we get for it? I have no idea. Let's watch them die. Die, you dirty Greeks! I played a board game, Mr. President, and it of course has the topics of the Jewish nation and the Muslim nations that surround it, and of course you get frustrated because they do things to you, mean things to you, because it's Mr. President. That's the theme of the game, and one of my videos got flagged. I was being anti-Semitic or something like that. And it was like, oh my gosh. But, yeah, be careful when you're playing these games and what you say while playing them, I guess, when you're recording. So, we win. And I don't know if there's, like, I mean, you can see clearly what the flames are for. Like, is there like rewards I get for, you know, searching the battlefield? I don't think so. I could rest and, get, I basically need to heal. Um, my strength is down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back to Warsaw so I can heal. And we got ourselves another verse. Largely because we keep building the altar, right? And we're spreading the religion. So now we get bonus prestige, 3 wealth per active trade agreement. Oh my gosh, I would love a trade agreement. Yeah, we're doing that one. Because I'm not getting any trade agreements right now. Alright, so Alexander the Great is at the bottom. So is George Washington. If we were to move to the next act right now, both of them would disappear from the map. And holy hand grenade, how awesome would that be for us? Because they're the two that are encroaching around our region. I know that the Roman Empire is somewhere on our continent. I'm okay with that. Because he's far away, wherever he is. And of course, we're winning because we're getting a crap ton of points just because of the bonus that he gives at the start of the game. And if you want a tougher game, just don't pick Poland. Pick one of these other countries that don't get bonuses. Alright, so yes, that's us moving back. I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, we're going to go take out that wolf. So we did our new verse, which again is just helping us to spread. We're still the only ones in the land. Everybody else has no religion. And this is population. So we got 14,000 people, and there's only 64,000 in the rest of the world, at least as far as nations are concerned. So we're already, 20% of the world religion there. Alright, I am at 2 hours and 37 minutes. I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.